Hello, Wildcat fans. Welcome to another edition of Ask the AD with Weber State Athletic Director Jerry Bovee. I'm Paul Grua. We are outside here at Stewart Stadium. It's October, and it's homecoming week right here at Stewart Stadium Saturday night against Portland State. Jerry, fall sports are underway, off to a great start. Volleyball doing very well. Football underway. Cross country, soccer, all off to a great start here as the fall is underway.
Yeah, it's a fun time of the season as we head toward Big Sky play. We're well into Big Sky play in some of our sports. Football just kind of getting going in Big Sky play, and now you start turning your attention to the postseason that'll be coming for our fall sports and beginning the season for our winter sports. So never a dull moment here.
Never a dull moment. Homecoming again this Saturday. We had a great homecoming crowd at the first game. Look to have that again this week. Also had a great student crowd, and I know that's a focus for you is student attendance.
Yeah.
I had a great crowd this last game.
Yeah, we've been working with the student body officers and coming up with they really want to brand what they're doing, and they see what others are doing with the herd and whatnot, and so I think they've come up with some unique things. We saw a great first foray into getting our students more involved, and we expect that to continue to grow. They're excited about it. They've got T-shirts they're wearing, and there's a lot of things that we want to continue to build on. I had the opportunity to be in the East Coast last weekend in our bye week and experienced Big 12 football, and I think we can continue to do more to build our experience as an FCS school. One thing I'd really like to see is our fan base, including our students, wearing Weber gear when they come to the games, and so we're going to continue to make that available. But expect a big crowd. Homecoming's a week that if you don't get to a lot of games, it seems like this is the game that people will choose if they're going to go to one or two a year. This is one that's always on their list. There's plenty of things to do out in the parking lot in the pregame with kids and bounce houses and tattoos, face painting, all kinds of fun stuff. So we hope that everyone will come out and enjoy a great evening of football with a great Portland State team.
Absolutely. A couple things we want to talk about today, facilities a little bit. There's some exciting news about the north end zone. It's been in the news a little bit here and there about some future plans here at Stewart Stadium in the north end zone.
Yeah, some of our fans would think we've been talking about this for 8 years now that you've been here, and we have. As we've talked before about facilities, we have kind of moved as opportunities came up to build other things like the Marquardt Field House, the Academic Center, the Stadium House. But this has always been on our radar. We now have some preliminary designs, and we're about halfway to our goal of $7 million as far as raising money and with commitments to getting there. So we're seeing some movement now. I think once we put those designs out there and let people kind of see what we're thinking, it's going to be a place where we're going to build a locker room there. We'll have an equipment room. We'll have opportunities for team meeting rooms and other entertainment space on game day. We'll increase the footprint of our weight room in this process, and then do some things with training and physical therapy as well. So it's a comprehensive look. It kind of on this north end of the stadium we'll put some closure into the stadium with a building and an entrance, a grand entrance to the stadium with the Sarks Boys Gateway. So we're excited about that. We've got a lot of work to do to continue to raise money before we'll be able to put a shovel in the ground, but we're well on our way.
Also, an exciting event facility is soccer, an upgrade. There are lights coming to the soccer stadium, and they'll have a home game under the lights on October 14th.
Yeah, we hope our fans will come out and experience night soccer for the first time ever. We're excited about these are LED lights. We tested them last night. I don't even know if you can see that they're on. The way that the technology is now, they're really focused with LED technology and sustainability, but I don't think you can even see that they're on from Harrison. We noticed last night, but they kind of face downward. But it was awesome, and our players are excited about it, and hope that we'll be able to bring in some other fans that may not be able to see afternoon sports that'll be able to come and watch us. And every year we're going to have some night soccer now.
That'd be great. Big Sky meetings were held in the fall, every fall, early October, late September, down in Salt Lake. What came from that from your perspective?
Well, I think continuing to talk about football scheduling and a nine game schedule and what football's going to look like. We've gone back and forth with divisions versus non-division. What's the best route there? There's still some shakeup potentially coming with institutions within our league, at least one in particular that's been in the news. So we've got to see where that all shakes out. But I think the outcomes are that we're looking at a 9-game schedule starting in 2020. Idaho joining in 2018, so that schedule's kind of been revamped, and we should get that out shortly. The Big Sky wants to do a release on that and promote that. And then I think we're coming to the end of at least our first foray into the strategic plan for what the conference will look like going forward, what the role of the conference is, what's our role as an institution, the brand of our conference, and getting some consistency throughout the institutions in our conference as to how we promote that and how we bond together to show the strength of what we do as a Big Sky Conference.
Now it's fall sports, so we're in the thick of things with fall sports, but not far away from the basketball season, which begins in November. October 19th, it will be your first chance to see the Wildcats men's and women's teams for the Purple and White game October 19th.
We're excited about that. Now, before we get any questions, there is a Jazz game with Portland that night in Salt Lake City, a preseason game, and I'm sure that some would wonder why would we do that on the same night. And we had our schedule and our plan long before the NBA put out their schedule, and we just felt by the time that all happened that we needed to move forward. So we'd encourage everyone to DVR that so they can see those. They've already seen it once. It looks like we've already had one game with Portland and the Jazz. It's fun to have two NBA players who'll play against each other, but you'll get a chance to come see the Wildcats and get a look at our men's and women's team. And we're excited for that season to get underway and get rolling.
Very much. We had a question come in on Twitter. We always look for your questions at Jerry Bovee and at Weber State. This comes in from Drew Weidman, who asks about the new Athletics Academic Center, which the groundbreaking was here in September. How is that new center helping your student athletes, and have any success stories about that, and what the purpose of that building is?
Great question from Drew. Drew is a faculty member here and is also a member of our athletic board. So Drew has been very great to support what we're doing here. I think initially what we're seeing is on the front end of this. I mean, it's not been open long enough to start looking at the metrics of the academic performance. We anticipate and know that graduation rates will be affected because when you have other opportunities to get credits in your 4-year cycle, it's going to increase your graduation rates. But in the early stages of it, we've seen an uptick, at least in recruiting. When we take parents through on the recruiting visit weekend, and for them to see the commitment to academics, there's no question that it has an effect on our success rate percentage on signing those that we bring in. We have a very high success rate. I think we're somewhere in that 70% range of those that we actually bring on visits across the board that we sign. It varies in some areas, but I think that's been a huge part of it. I also think we've been looking at what we did in our first summer with summer classes. We've provided 6 units of summer school to all of our student athletes. We had 190 students in summer classes this year, and our success or pass rate was high 80% as a department. So progress toward degree is going to go up, and that facility, along with what we're doing from a nutrition standpoint, now we partnered with Smith's on a fueling station there, so we're able to offer snacks to our student athletes. Again, a huge recruiting thing, but it's also a performance thing that'll affect their academics and their athletic success. So far, early signs are very successful. We'll have to wait a year or so, 2 years, before we really see the metrics of graduation rates and where they flow from that. But early signs are very good.
Yeah, great to have a facility like that. Well, thanks, Jerry, for joining us for another edition of Ask the AD. Again, football homecoming game this Saturday, October 8th against Portland State. Also home on October 15th. Soccer, volleyball games coming up at home during October as well. Be sure to check out WeberStateSports.com for all the schedules and information. And thanks for joining us, and go Wildcats.